have planned for the set?
The penguins in the no, I'm just joking. I'm gonna do background vocals on Price Tag. I'm just gonna sing. I kind of never know. People say, what can we expect? I never really know, which is the beauty of kind of what I do. Is that, and it depends what mood I'm in. How I'm feeling. I'm excited to be here. I think I've got about half an hour set, and I'm doing acoustic vibe. So, and I know there's going to be models walking, and there's going to be loads of fashion. So I might just completely forget that I have to sing, and start pointing and taking pictures of people and myself. No way. But just going to be a lot of fun, you know, kind of fashion, celebration, entertainment, kind of all coming together, and I'm excited to see some fans.
Amazing. And last time you were here, you actually brought someone up on stage. You brought Esther Eden up on stage.
Yes, I
she
did.
got signed. You know what?
How's she doing?
She's doing amazingly. She released an album, actually.
Whoa, that was quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's crazy, because I remember meeting her the first time, and she was young. She was at a school performance. We went to a school, and she told me she was a songwriter, and I was like, I want you to sing to me. And she sang, and then I invited her back on stage, and her braces were gone, and I was like, you're so grown up. And now she's been signed. That's amazing. What a journey.
What motivated you to bring her up on stage? Like, why did you want to bring this young girl up to sing to people?
I remember when I was on tour, I was 17, and I went on tour with Cyndi Lauper. And she came into my dressing room and was like, do you want to sing Girls with me? And I remember just being like, yes. And that opportunity, I've always wanted to be able to share with someone else. As soon as I was kind of old enough and successful enough to be able to go, right, come on, share the light, let's do it. So, you know, on many occasions that I can, I get someone up on stage to experience and flourish and have the opportunity to showcase their talent, and you never know what's going to happen. They get signed, and, you know, it helps them along their way, on the way.
Amazing Cyndi Lauper impression, by the way.
Thanks. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're the youngest of 3 sisters.
I am the youngest.
Growing up, did you feel like the youngest?
Yeah. My sisters were both 5 and 7 years older than me, both very intelligent, academic, both head girl at school, both were like friends with all the teachers, and then there was me. Wasn't the head girl, wasn't very academic. I was more drama, art, you know. I was more kind of creative, and they were more maths and science. And even though both what they do now are creative, my sisters, one is a writer and one's a photographer, so we're all creative, and they're my best friends. They're the best. But yeah, I definitely feel like the youngest, even though now I'm like the family, like I give advice on everyone's fashion. Like no one will clear their wardrobe out without me. It's funny, they're always like, you're the youngest, but what do you think of this? And I'm like, come on, you're like, I won't say how old my sister is, but you can work it out. But they're both parents and both have beautiful kids, and they're great.
And speaking of sort of fashion and beauty, you also entered into a collaboration with Makeup Forever.
Yes.
How did your interest in makeup begin?
When I was about 6 years old, I asked for a boombox from Santa and some blue eyeshadow and some red lipstick. And I will never forget the day I woke up and my mum was like, I think Santa came. I remember I shot down the stairs, and in the living room there was this massive boombox, which literally, I think my mum might still have it, and it had a microphone attached to it. That's where my love for like singing started, where I kind of practiced. That was my hobby off school. And blue eyeshadow, red lipstick, that was the vibe. And then I did like performances at British Art School, and that's the kind of the standard performance as a child's makeup, which is really weird. It may have changed now, but like pink blusher, blue eyeshadow, red lipstick. And I just loved how I could express myself. Throughout college, I used to draw music notes on my face with eyeliner. I'd wear green eyeshadow, like peacock green. And I just loved that I could draw. I loved drawing. I studied art, so that had a lot to do with it. And then it kind of just evolved into who I am today and what I do for a living. And just the love of it, of being able to feel good. And not use it to cover up, but to use it to cover out, you know, to like, if that makes sense, to be expressive and to be yourself.
And speaking of growing up and going to school, not a lot of people know that you went to school for arts and you went to school with Adele.
Yes.
Which back then must have been totally normal. But
oh yeah, of course. Neither of us were like, never going to get, I can't believe they're not going to know what's going to happen to us. Like, we had no idea. We were 16 and just was singing, and that was it. you know.
What kind of students were you? You know, were you very focused? Were you...
Adele was the cool kid. She was in music and like everyone knew her. She wrote songs and was like, you know, wore dope vintage clothes, and I was in musical theatre. So I wasn't so cool. I had different coloured hair because I was a Vida Sassoon model. So I used to travel doing hair modelling while I wasn't at college to make money, and I was in a girl band. So yeah, but we used to hang out randomly at lunch times and sing together, and I couldn't be more proud. She's incredible.
Amazing. And just bringing it back to present time, you know, you released your latest album, I think was 2014. Are you working on a fourth record?
Maybe.
You're gonna see where it takes you.
I'm just kind of you know what, it's so hard because I completely understand that it's been a long time since I've released music, but I didn't stop working from that album until literally just the last kind of fall, winter time last year. So I was touring, the longest I've ever toured, with 200 shows around the world, and that took a year and a half. So it's hard for everyone that kind of just sees the show once and then kind of goes, where has she gone? But I'm not rushing. I'm taking some time out. I'm kind of enjoying life and, you know, doing bits and bobs here and there and making sure that my fans know that I'm not going to disappear, but I'm not going to rush the next record.
Amazing. And last question, it's 2017.
Yes.
It's the beginning of a new year. You know, what's your biggest priorities for yourself, whether it's work, whether it's personal?
This year, my biggest priority is my career. I have made some big changes in my career, business-wise and personally, in the last year, and I think I'm in the best place I've ever been, and I'm proud of where I've become and what I've learned, and I want to infiltrate that into my life and my career this year more than ever before. So I'm excited to see what happens and the new kind of outlook and people I have around me and my team, and just exploring the opportunity and the adventures of where life can take me.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Jessie.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.